Hello. Today we'll be playing a delve of Runecairn, as you can see. So recently, Colin this year of by Odin's Beard RPG has asked me to do some of the art for Runecairn Bestiary, and I put up a video on how I did that on my YouTube channel, and I thought it went great. But then I realized something. I don't have any videos on Runecairn itself, and I think that's a massive shame because Runecairn is actually one of my favorite solo RPGs because it's just so easy to actually play. The reason why is really because of its excellent like solo tools in the delve section here. There's even like a flow chart, makes it really easy to figure out like how to go about doing the delve. So yeah, we'll basically be using this today. But also the general system is just really geared towards solo because of two things, I think. The combat is kind of fun, where like you're using different abilities and you have to be tactical about things. But also because you can actually die. When you die, it's like the Souls-like games where you will actually revive back at a bonfire. You can die a limited amount of times, and after that you just become a shade. You become lost. But you do have a number of attempts and you can approach the situation from different ways afterwards, which is what I like about it. It makes it feel more like a puzzle where you're like, okay, this method didn't work, so I'm going to go with this method instead. So I've already made a character. This character is called Noka the Pyre or Pyromancer. I rolled up his stats, not too shabby, not too great. Um, just in the middle. 13 strength, 10 dexterity, 6 wits, 9 spirit. But here's the thing. I rolled up a maximum for his vigor and for his vitality. So he's gonna be a tough boy. So his resilience is gonna be a total of that is gonna be 12. He's gonna have a few abilities here. He's gonna be able to use a flame shield, and he's gonna be able to sear people. He's able to smash with his hammer. And we'll get into all of that when we actually use it. One thing I would like to point out on this character sheet is that he also has Kindled Bale, which is fantastic because that means he can set down a bonfire, which means essentially you can make your own checkpoint. So yeah, I won't go into too much of the rules of Runecairn. I'll just be playing it out, and I'll be explaining things along the way, but I might miss out on some things. So I also printed out this delve sheet here. There we go, a delve generator sheet, and we'll just be starting with a delve. Uh, in addition to all the stats, I forgot to mention that he is disciplined, but he's deceitful. So we'll use that to kind of figure out the motivations going forwards here. So we'll start off real simple, and we'll just roll up a random delve to start with. So firstly, we'll roll up for the type and size. So if you look at the flowchart here, this is all you have to do in order to create a delve. So let's roll something up. So got some dice here. Let's go with let's go with a type and size. For a village, okay, so we are going to be exploring a village. So it's gonna be plus D8. So they have at least 10 areas. So it's gonna be 10 plus D8 areas. So how many areas are in this village? Oh, okay, so it's 11. That's actually pretty small. So we'll note that down. We'll just list out the dungeon size as 11. And for the dungeon type, let me put this back up here. For the dungeon type is going to be a village. So we're going to write that down. Village. Actually, let's write this in pen. So village, so that you can see it real easily. Okay, what's the objective for this village that we're in? So you're going to roll a d6 for that. 2. Escort a young seer to train under an unruly elder in a village of exiles. Okay. Alright. That's interesting. It's an escort mission. So we're actually escorting someone to train under an unruly elder. Who is this person? I don't know. 31. That is going to be... I'm not going to be able to pronounce that at all. I'm going to try though. There's a pronunciation chart here, but still going to mess it up. How do I pronounce that? Guorun. I'm just gonna pick the one below that. Gunhild. Gunhild is the person that we are escorting. Gunhild. So I'm gonna write that down here. escort Gunhild to Elder. Okay, cool. So we're supposed to be escorting this person to this Elder, to train under this Elder. And I think in order to get to this Elder, it has to be some kind of like trial. So I'm not too sure about that. So I'm actually going to roll on the runes section here, where it can actually give me focus, emotion, and rune, and it can give me narrative to spin from. So we're gonna go with that. Let's roll for a focus, and we're gonna get a 7. Endure, bleak, endure bleak. What? 19. Endure the bleak sea. Okay, so endure the bleak sea. Endure an ocean of bleakness. It sounds to me like a trial. It might or might not be sea related, but I think this might be a fishing village of some kind. Um, and yeah, what it might be is that we have to kind of like escort them to this elder through this village that is a fishing village, but most of the inhabitants have gone mad, and it's kind of like a trial. So it's not so much that we have to escort him to an elder within this village. I think this village is going to contain some kind of like sea monster that we're gonna have to get under control. So it's gonna be more of like a training mission for this young Gunhild, and we're going to be assisting him in that. Maybe we were paid. Maybe we have do we have any ulterior motives here? Were we paid for this? So we're gonna roll for that. We got 12. Sorrow with complication. Okay. Nokia doesn't like Gunhild all that much, but he is beholden to this in some way. He has to do this because he owes someone a favor. Maybe he owes Gunhild's father a favor or something like that. But in any case, he has to guide this unruly Gunhild and train him in the art of combat and guide him through this trials. So I'm gonna, instead of saying to the elder, I'm gonna say true trial. So it's gonna be a trial of sorts in this village. Okay, cool. So let's start. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm gonna say that there's gonna be a bonfire right outside here, so that if we die, we basically come back to this section here, right there. But the village, well, does the village have like any protection? Is it kind of like just an open entrance, or is it going to be kind of like guarded, right? I kind of think I need to know that, so I'm gonna roll on that as well. Actually, let's see. Oh, 1. That is. Ooh, I actually rolled it wrongly. My bad. Favor or sorrow is the 2d6. We'll like do that in future, but should have done a 2d6. My bad. That's gonna be a 7. That's gonna be a complication. Okay. So there is going to be some kind of like guarded gate here. And there's maybe like some kind of like spikes all up here, all the way there. And it's hard to get in through here because it's like covered in tangled bushes and trees and all that. So gonna have to get through this gate somehow. It's gonna be hard to climb it. Let's say that that's our entrance. So it's a complication of sorts. So if we go in there, people are going to notice as we open our way through, the gates. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to say that for the first encounter, I'm gonna take 2d12 here, and I'm actually going to take the higher one because I rolled that there will be some kind of conflict. So I'm gonna make it more likely that there will be an obstacle or conflict. So we're gonna open the gates. Noka and Gunhild are gonna come on through, and let's see what we find in the first section. So gonna roll 2 and pick the higher one. That is going to be a 7, which is going to be an obstacle of some sort. So let's see, obstacle for village. I'm gonna roll a d6 for that. I'm gonna get 3. The obstacle is a group of locals gathers before you, safe to avoid. Okay, so as we come on in through the gates, a whole bunch of locals, like what I'm thinking is like the Lovecraft story, Shadow over Innsmouth, where all the locals kind of have this fishy appearance to them. I'm gonna write that down. Crowd of locals, and they're all kind of like gathering around us, trying to find out what's our business here. We're not gonna try to avoid this crowd. We're just gonna roll the reaction and see, how they take to us. So that's going to be a 9, which is unfortunately unfriendly. So this crowd of locals comes up to us and they're kind of like jostling us. They're kind of like aggressive. They're asking what we're doing here, what we're doing in their town as outsiders. I don't think they're gonna attack us per se, but they're definitely not gonna give us any kind of help here. The question is, if we ask them for something, right, will they actually help us? So I think Inoka is going to try to negotiate with the locals here. And I believe that that is either a wits or a spirit roll. Let me check real quick. Here we go. That's going to be a spirit roll. So if it succeeds, we get something that might potentially help us in terms of information. If it fails, they attack us. It fails. Okay. It's a roll under system, so we're supposed to roll a 9 or under. We got a 15. So Noka tries to get some information out of the crowd. It just makes them even angrier, and they're going to actually try to attack us. So we're going to say that one of them comes up to try to attack us, and he's maybe a more rowdy sort. He's maybe the leader of this band, and he's like, "You want information? You're gonna have to fight us for it." So Noka or Gunhild can either step up to the challenge here. I should probably give Gunhild some stats actually. I think I'm just gonna give Gunhild 10 for all his stats, just to keep things simple. Just purely average. And we're trying to kind of like bring him through this trial so he doesn't necessarily have anything other than maybe, a D6 weapon of some kind. So what kind of character is Gunhild actually? This is a good chance to find out. Like, let's roll for a virtue and a vice for Gunhild. So we know that these two don't really like each other all that much, but Noka is kind of bound to help him for the moment. So, okay, Gunhild is merciful, but he's aggressive. So he's the honorable sort. He'll be aggressive, he'll fight, but if the opponent is down, he'll let him go. So that makes me think, that Gunhild is gonna try to attack this villager who comes up shouting a challenge. I'm just gonna write down 10 that, and in terms of his vigor and vitality, I'll just roll that up twice, and I got 6 and a 1. So just gonna give him a resilience of 7, and he is aggressive but has honor. How we're gonna put it. So Noka kind of nods, steps back, and let's see how Gunhild kind of deals with this. So I'm gonna give him d6 damage just to keep things simple, and I'm gonna say that this villager, this leader, how strong is he gonna be? You know what? I think for this villager, I'm just gonna give him the stats of a dwarf, really. So he's gonna have a hammer, and he's not gonna be afraid to use it. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so Gunhild is able to go first, and Gunhild is able to do some damage, or at least try to this stocky dwarf-looking fellow. So he's actually going to roll his damage immediately because this is an immediate to-hit system. He's gonna get a 5. So that's not good for this dwarf fellow. I'm gonna actually get some rough paper here. Give me a sec. Okay, here we go. So dwarf leader. Oh my god, he's actually really strong. Now I'm starting to realize. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So he's gonna go up to this leader, and he's immediately gonna knock off 5 of their resilience. The leader is gonna go next. Noka is just like, in the background, just seeing how Gunhild will handle this. And the leader is just going to deal his damage automatically here. So, oh, for 1 damage. Okay, so Gunhild is still doing okay. So let's just write Gunhild over here. And let's write his strength and his resilience. Okay, so gone down to a 6. So Noka at this point is still watching, still, in the background, trying not to interfere. And Gunhild sees his opportunity to strike. Just gonna try again. 3. So the dwarf leader is actually going to go down to 2 resilience. So at this point, the dwarf leader is gonna strike again, this time for 4. Gunhild is gonna go down to 2. And that's just gonna keep happening until something like this happens, where the resilience goes down to 0. Once strength is deducted, then you have to do a critical damage check. So we're seeing who starts to get damaged first. And at this point, if Gunhild gets damaged, Noka will try to step in. So, oh, that's not good. So Gunhild gets damaged for 4, which means that his strength actually goes down to 8, which means he now has to do a critical damage save check to see if he is going to be on the ground, kind of like taken out, so to speak. Oh, he rolls a 7. He's still up and swinging. So Gunhild is still okay, but at this point, I think Noka is going to interfere here. He's like, alright, you've made your point. He kind of like helps Gunhild up. He tells the dwarf leader, look, you've made your point. We don't need any information from you. Can we just go through? So how is the leader going to react to this? Let's see here. Roll on the favor or sorrow table here. And we get a 10, which is sorrow. So the dwarf leader is going to feel insulted by this. He's going to be so insulted that he's going to instead attack Noka. So all of the villagers are just waiting in the background, seeing how their leader will handle this. So he's actually going to attack Noka, and I'm actually going to roll for an enemy actions here. So how is he going to attack Noka? It's going to be a 5. So it's just a regular attack. So he's just going to try to do a regular attack against Noka. See how that goes. 5. So Noka goes down to 7 resilience. Oof, that is not great. I think what Noka is going to do is he is actually going to use one of his abilities here. What can Noka do as a pyre? He could have used his flame shield there, but he had to do it before the attack. So let's see. By the way, if I miss a rule or something, I apologize. I haven't played this in quite a while. So, go easy on me. But let's see. We can ignite the dwarf, but it will cause us some fatigue. I think the dwarf is already kind of tired out. I think we will take like 1 fatigue point in order to use smash on our hammer. So we're gonna bludgeon our opponent with damage advantage. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use our blacksmith hammer, but we're gonna roll 2d6s. I'm gonna take the higher one. So that's the damage advantage. And we're gonna deal 3 damage to this dwarven leader. So that is going to bring them down to 10 strength. They're gonna have to do a critical save against their strength, firstly. And they're gonna succeed. But then they're gonna have to pass another one, otherwise they're knocked down. So they pass the critical save, so they're not completely knocked out, but they are kind of like knocked to the ground. And Noka is like, look, we don't want any more trouble, just let us through. How is the crowd of locals going to react to the fact that their leader just got downed? I think it's more of like an intimidation kind of thing. So I'm actually going to roll for Noka Spirit, but I'm gonna do it kind of like, if he fails, what I'm gonna do is that the crowd is not gonna give him any information, but they're gonna let him through. If he succeeds, the crowd is gonna let him through, but the dwarven leader is going to hold up his end of the bargain and give him some information here. So it's gonna be an intimidation check here. He succeeds. Okay. So the dwarven leader gets up. I think some of his men help him up. And the dwarven leader kind of like grunts and says, what do you want to know? So I think we want to know more about where this monster might be, or more information about the monster. Yeah, I think we're gonna want more information about this creature that we're supposed to fight in this fishing village. So we're gonna go with a focus, emotion, and rune. Focus is going to be 9. Mourn, D8. Mourn, contemplative. Okay. Mourn the contemplative iron. Mourn contemplative iron. Okay. What kind of monster kind of fits with that? Mourn a contemplative iron. That makes me think of actually a warrior who... a dead warrior. Mourn contemplative iron. That makes me think of somebody who is dead but continues to fight. So let's see what might fit. I think a Draugr will fit. Yeah. So we're gonna fight a Draugr. Interesting. Oh, by the way, I forgot to actually apply defense to the combat there. I need to remember that. We'll just say because this is the first combat, he didn't have that defense. I'm just gonna retroactively say that. Whoops. But we're gonna say that the thing that we have to find here, which we didn't really know about, was the Draugr. Okay, so at least we know that now. And we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna push through the crowd, who I think lets us through. And we're gonna just keep going to the next area here. So let's roll up a village encounter. So we're gonna roll a d12. We're gonna get a 10, which is a conflict. And that conflict is going to be for Pyre Blacksmith sits crestfallen beside a cold forge. Okay, I'm gonna draw that out. That's interesting actually. The reason why it's interesting is because our character Noka is also a pyre. So maybe they can find some common ground there. Let's actually let's actually figure out what their reaction to us is initially. At least at the start. Let's see. 5 and a 1. Unsure. So I think we approach this pyre and they seem unsure of us at first. This like man sitting next to this kind of like forge. And they're not willing to really talk to us at first. Until Noka reveals that he himself is a pyre. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually roll reaction at advantage. So I'm gonna roll 3d6. I'm gonna pick the two lowest here. So it's gonna be 3 and 2, 5. So we get talkative. So now this pyre has seen that Noka is indeed like him. He gets a bit more talkative, starts telling us things. So why is his forge cold? Is it because of the is it because of the Draugr? Is the Draugr a frost creature that has like caused the forge to go cold? I think in this case we'll say that if it's favor, that's something that is aligning with our theory. If it's sorrow, it doesn't align with our theory. So we're just gonna roll that. 2 and 3. Favor with complications. So yes, it is a frost Draugr of some kind, but this pyre tried to stop him and was unable to stop him. And as a result, his powers got removed from him. And Noka, knowing the importance of like fire to a pyre, is distraught by this. I think Gunhill doesn't really care as much. But Noka, I think he's not going to give any of his equipment away. But I think, is he able to kind of like bring fire back to this forge? Can he bring fire back to the forge and allow this blacksmith to continue working? I think that would be a spirit check here. I could use a fatigue and use seer, and I would say that's an immediate success. But I will use some fatigue points. You know what? I'm gonna use my fatigue. I'm gonna say I use seer, and I automatically bring this forge back up to life, and I ignite the forge, so to speak. And the blacksmith looks upon it with wonder, and he's able to continue working again. Are they gonna give us anything for our trouble here? We have made an ally of sorts, but are they going to give us anything in return? So let's roll that. I think it's going to be more likely than not, so I'm gonna roll 3d6. I'm gonna pick the lower two. So it's gonna be 3 and 4. 7, there's a complication. Okay, so they want to help us, they want to give us something in return, but unfortunately they don't have enough materials. So if we find some materials along the way and we're able to give it to him, then we might be able to get some new equipment, for example. Okay, that's cool. So we're gonna keep going here. I think what we're gonna do is we might drink some of our mead actually. Yeah, let's see here. It will clear 2 points of fatigue and restores 10 resilience. Start with 2 sips. Oh, my bad. Okay, start with 2 sips. Don't think we're gonna drink it yet. Not quite yet. Okay, we're gonna just keep going here. So this is an interesting journey so far. Let's roll on the encounters table again. And I think we're gonna explore more of the right side here, this time, towards the east. You know, 1 is a treasure of some kind. Okay, treasure. Oh, nice. So we're gonna explore towards the east side here. Probably gonna have some kind of like houses and stuff. Oh, okay. So as we're exploring the houses around here, there's not much to find in most of the houses, right? Um, a lot of them are kind of like in ruins and not in the best kind of shape. But we do find something in one of the houses, and it is chainmail covered in blood and wrapped in linen. So I feel like we could actually bring this back to the blacksmith here, and they might be able to make us something out of that. Yeah, we're actually going to exchange our plated leather for some kind of chainmail, and we're going to donate the leather, so to speak, to the blacksmith. I'm gonna say that that can make him sort of an ally of sorts now. So I'm gonna set this to 2, and the defense is gonna go up to 2 here. So that's good, but our inventory space now goes down to a 4 out of 10. There you go. So we don't have as much fatigue to kind of like use up here. Is the blacksmith going to give us anything in return? I don't think so, but it's always worth a shot. We did give him something as a gift, like our leather armor, that he might be able to work with it and use it to forge other stuff. So is he able to make us anything? 5. Favor with complication. Hmm. Favor with complication. I think he might need some extra materials on top of that. So we're gonna have to give up something else. Do we have to give up the kindled bale? I don't want to do that. I think what's gonna be the case is that he's gonna need some extra convincing, or we have to give him an item. So I'm going to try to do some extra convincing here. Try to get him to find the rest of the materials. And I fail. So no, he is going to require some extra materials in order to give us anything else. But we have made an ally of this blacksmith. So that's good. So we have 3 here, and we found some chainmail in linen and blood. And we're gonna keep going through to the northern side of the village here. So let's see what we find. We're starting to find more and more areas. So hopefully later on we can find more materials. We can bring it back to the blacksmith, and he can eventually craft us something that might be able to help us. So let's see. Next roll is going to be an 8. That's going to be another obstacle. So let's roll out the obstacle. There's going to be a 3. Oh, another group of locals get us before us. Safe to avoid. I think this time we are going to try to avoid them. So I'm actually going to write down here. There's another bunch of like locals around here. So crowd of locals. So we're going to try to avoid them. So I'm going to use my dexterity here. I'm going to try to just pass through. And we're going to just barely fail, unfortunately. So they're gonna cost us again, and it's gonna be this whole thing again. So I think we're just gonna try to intimidate them. Noka is going to kind of like, yeah, I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna try some intimidation here. If he succeeds, we get through. If not, they get the first attack in. We fail. They get the first attack in. So some rowdy upstart comes in and takes a swing at us. So I think in this case, I think what I'm gonna do in this case is I'm actually going to randomize the stats a little bit. Like, how strong is he on a scale of like 1 to 6? 2, okay, yeah. I'm just gonna give him 6 resilience, and I'm gonna give him 10 strength. That's around about average. So how much damage does he do? Average is around d6 damage. So this upstart is gonna try to take a swing at either Gunhild or Noka. Now, Gunhild, I think, is in quite some danger, so I think Noka is actually going to step in if Gunhild is going to be attacked. So I think, yeah, Noka is actually going to step in here, and he's going to actually use his flame shield to try to deflect the attack. So he can use it in his offhand to deflect an attack spirit save to avoid all damage, but it does take a fatigue point. So he's going to use up a fatigue point, and he's going to try to deflect all of that damage. So let's see how that goes. Oh my god, that's a massive failure. So yeah, he's gonna take all of that damage, whatever it might be. So he's gonna take all of the damage from this random villager, 3 damage. Okay, I don't think he's gonna want to take chances with this. So I think at this point, he's gonna take a swig of his mead here. He's gonna go up to 12 resilience, and he's going to get 2 of his fatigue back. And is he gonna use anything special on this guy? I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna use yeah, I think he wants to get the fight over with quick. So what he could do is he could use his seer spell, which can do d8 damage, but it has a long range. So I kinda wanted to save that for something else. I think I'm just gonna use seer though. So I'm gonna use seer, and I'm going to burn this guy alive. So we're going to roll for that. Okay, there we go, 6. So it goes down to 0 resilience. And now this guy is going to attack back. We're gonna see if they do anything special actually. We're gonna roll for an enemy action here. So let's see what action they take. This is gonna be an 8. They're just gonna attack us normally. So this guy is just gonna do d6 damage to us. He does the max amount of damage towards us, but is still unable to like land a proper hit. Again, resilience is kind of like how good you are at dodging the attacks. So we should be able to take this guy out in our next hit, which is just gonna be a regular attack. We're gonna just swing at this guy, takes him down to 7 strength. So unless he gets 7 or below, he's taken out. Yep, he's out. This guy is out. So I think we just hurry through this part of the crowd. and we go on to the next area here. Let's see what we find. So let's see what's in this area now. It's gonna be 8, which is another obstacle. If it's another band of locals, I'm re-rolling that. I'm gonna re-roll it if it's another band of locals. Let's see. Of course! Of course it's another band of locals. You know what? I'm not gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna say that the locals catch up to us. So now there's 2 of them about to pounce on us. And we're just gonna have to see whether we can get the first hit in. So yeah, I'm just gonna roll to see. Are we able to get the first hit in? Yes, we are. Okay. So I think Noka and Gunhild are both preparing to fight this band of locals. There's gonna be 2 of them, so they're gonna have the same stats as this guy. They saw their friend go down, so they're not gonna give up. And I think yeah, we're just going to get the first hit in. So it's just more locals like chasing after us. So yeah, so 5 is more locals. What's with all of these villagers? So you know what? You know what? I think it's time. So I think Noka at this point is gonna say screw it, and he's going to use ignite, which is going to actually give him double damage for the remainder of the fight, I believe. Um, Channel ancient magic to ignite your weapon or the gloves themselves in blazing fire. For the duration of the fight, melee attacks now do double damage and bypass mundane armor, ignoring defense. So I use a fatigue point for that. And I think, yeah, screw it. We're just going to go all in. And he's just going to take a swig of meat afterwards or something. He's going to be fine. But that's what he does for this action. He's going to ignite his like gloves and get into a ready stance. Gunhild is going to just attack one of these guys. So we'll see how that goes. So Gunhild is taking one of them, Noka's taking the other one. So Gunhild is going to deal 3 damage. And then the 2 villagers are able to attack us. So do they do anything special, I guess is the question. Enemy actions. No, they don't. They just attack. Okay, so first one is going to attack Noka. 2 damage. That is bad. He's going down to 4 out of 12. Okay, 4 out of 12. How about the other one? Is he gonna attack? Yeah, I think he's just gonna attack Gunhild. I think Noka is still gonna try. He's under a quest to kind of escort Gunhild through, so he's gonna take the damage for Gunhild. He's gonna go down to a 3, which is not too bad. And I think at this point, because they're under quite dire circumstances, Noka is gonna use Seer to destroy both of these guys at once. So he's gonna use Seer, and he's gonna use up all his fatigue points at this point, and he's gonna deal double D8 damage to each of these guys. He's gonna deal multiple damage to both these guys. So first guy, God. Okay, that's going to be 5 strength. So let's see if the first guy goes down. Yep, the first guy goes down. And the second guy, so double D8s, 6. So it's gonna go down to 7. We're gonna roll. If it's 7 or below, he remains standing. Nope, they're both out. Both got burned to a crisp. But the problem is now that Noka has almost, well, it doesn't have almost, he has no fatigue left to use. So actually, I'm gonna consume a mead here, and I'm going to give myself back 2 fatigue points, and resilience goes back up to full because that's a plus 10. Unfortunately, I have no mead left, so that's really, really bad. Essentially chased through the back alleys by a bunch of angry locals. These are the kind of the back alleys here, just being chased through. It's horrible. But we are going to continue on. We're getting closer and closer to our destination, which is actually really good. So yeah, let's roll for an encounter here. Let's see what's in the next place. 12, it's a conflict. Okay. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of conflicts and obstacles. Not great luck. Okay. D6 cultists attempting to summon a dread being with a ritual. How many cultists are there? 4. I think this might, so okay, that's bad. So oh, ritual. That's not good. I think they're trying to summon a dread being with a ritual. We have to stop it, right? Right? We I mean we have to, right? Oh god. We're not in any position to stop it though. We're almost out of all our resources, so you know what? You know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a kindled bill like right there. So that's gonna give me one of my fatigue points back because I'm gonna drop an inventory item. And this is gonna be our bonfire essentially over here, off to the side. So if we die, we will restart back here. Okay. I believe that we can just rest there as well and reset everything. So I think, let's see, bonfires. It will clear all fatigue and reset ability score loss and restores all lost resilience. Okay, that is good. So we're actually going to get back up to full. And for Gunhild, I'm gonna put him back up to 7 resilience and 10. So Gunhild is just fine and dandy after we rest at the bonfire. But that means that we have to actually take out this cult. I mean, it is not good. Is there any way that we can sneak up on them? Is there any way that we can actually kind of like disrupt their ritual? I mean, they are kind of in the middle of the ritual, right? So how strong are these cultists? Also, I just realized again, I keep forgetting to factor in my defense. I keep forgetting that. I have to remember this time. Cultist is going to be 6 resilience, 1 defense, 10 strength, and they have d6 in damage. They will refuse to retreat, and they will fight to a death. Roll a d20 when defeated. On a 1, a black tentacle bursts from the corpse and strikes for d6 magic damage. Oh my god. Alright, alright. So, there's basically 4 of these fuckers. Let's see. And each one has 1 defense each. We're gonna be able to get the first hit in, but we're gonna have to like figure out what we want to do. What's the plan here? We're going up against 4 cultists, right? So, oh yeah, I reset my meat as well. I'm immediately going to use ignite here. No question about that. I'm immediately gonna use ignite. I'm gonna use up 1 fatigue, and I'm going to basically try to burn these fuckers with sear. So I think we just jump in, and the question is, are they all in like a line? How many can I get in one hit? Basically, like I don't know how they're positioned. So I'm just gonna roll a d4 and see how many I can hit in one hit. 4! Yes! Okay, that is incredibly lucky. I get to roll double d8 damage using my sear for each of these guys. So we just jump in and just immediately are able to just blast fire at all of them. One of them is gonna take 5 damage, -1 because defense. So it's gonna take 4 damage, it's gonna go down to 2. Next one is gonna take 5 damage, goes down to 1. Oh, there we go. It's gonna take 11 damage, which means that they might just collapse immediately. They don't. It's gonna be a 4, so it's gonna go down to 2. So we're not able to take any of them out in the first hit, but we're able to do a lot of damage immediately. Gunhild is gonna come in and try to attack. So he's just gonna attack the one that's already been burned pretty badly, and he's just gonna roll that. Gets 3. Guy goes down to 2, and then let's see whether he dies. He rolls a 1. He needed a 1 or 2 to survive, and he rolls a 1. So the cultists now have their turn to react back to us. The cultist leader kind of goes, "You fools!" And they kind of like start to like gang up on us, stopping their ritual for the moment. Actually, yeah, do they keep continuing their ritual? That's actually interesting. Like, do we actually interrupt them, or do they, try to ignore us and try to complete their ritual? 5. Favor with complication. So I think 2 of them keep doing their ritual, and 2 of them come towards us. I'm gonna say these 2 keep doing the ritual, these 2 come towards us. So these 2 are gonna try to attack us, and we have, I'm gonna say d4 plus 2 rounds before they summon whatever they're gonna summon. We got 5 rounds before they summon whatever they're gonna summon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these guys are gonna come up to us and try to attack us, and they are going to each deal their damage. So first one attacks Noka, 2, we are able to deflect all that. I think we're just gonna tank all the damage here. So both are not able to get through Noka's excellent chainmail armor, and the other 2 are still trying to do their ritual. Noka is gonna come in and he's gonna try to beat the shit out of one of them with his hands that are on fire. So he's gonna get damage advantage here. So he's gonna go for, I think he's gonna leave the one that's almost dead to Gunhild. He's gonna go for the other one. So he's gonna get a 5. So that's going to be, oh yeah, no, it's double damage. So it's actually like 7. Actually, I don't know if double damage means you roll it twice, or you're supposed to just roll it once, then times it by 2. But I think rolling twice is more fun, so I'm gonna do that. So 7. So 0. Colin, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry if I'm bastardizing your rules. So 5. He's gonna roll for that, and he is going to fail. and this cultist goes out. Okay, so one of the cultists goes down. The other cultist is going to be attacked by Gunhild, who's gonna just attack normally, and he's gonna roll a 1. And if this cultist gets a 1 on a d20, I swear to God, he gets a 9. Both of them go down. I think at this point, the ritual. Are they gonna keep going with the ritual? I don't know. But before that, we actually have to roll to see whether they actually do the black tentacle bullshit. So if they roll a 1, they actually attack us again when they die. 13 and 13. Okay. No, they don't do it. So are they gonna continue the ritual here? I'm actually gonna say that this time is favorable if they continue because we can just kill them outright. So let's see. That's going to be 7, a complication. So one of them is gonna keep trying to do the ritual, and one of them is going to try to attack us. This one is gonna try to attack us, and let's see how he does. He's gonna try to attack Noka. Oh, he deals max damage, so that's going to be -4 because of the defense of 2. So it's gonna be 8 out of 12. We're doing good though, we're doing good. So Noka is gonna beat the shit out of this guy. And that's going to be 10 damage. Yep, this guy's dead, probably. Unless he rolls a 1 on his critical save, which might happen. He does not. Does he roll a 1 on his magical bullshit when he dies? No, he does not. So another one is down, and then we have Gunhild who goes in for the last guy, and does 5 damage, which means that this guy goes down to 7, and he fails. They're all dead. They're all dead. We killed all of the cultists. Fantastic. So they better give us something for this. What's on these cultists? What do they have? They gotta have something, right? Right? They gotta have something. I'm actually going to just roll on a spell and just see what we get. Yeah, we'll roll like 1 to 2 is a seer spell, 3 to 4 is a scout spell, and 5 to 6 is a flame spell. It's a seer spell. So yeah, I guess we'll just roll. How many are there on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There's 30 of them. Do I have a 30-sided die? Yes, I do. I have a 30-sided die. Thank God. Let's roll that and let's see. What do we get? We got 23. So it's like 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sleep. A creature you can see falls into a light sleep. Cool. Okay, so we basically get a scroll that does that. We get a scroll of sleep. I'm gonna say like it's a relic and it has like a certain amount of charges. Let's just roll a d4 for that. How many times can I use this sleep spell? 4 times. Fantastic. So we get a relic of sleep. Can put people to sleep. So that's gonna be 4 times. This is gonna be super useful, but it's also gonna take up 1 point of an inventory, which means we can have less fatigue to use. But that is pretty fantastic. That is a pretty good reward. I think at this point, yeah, we don't need to drink our mead yet. We're still good. We're still good to go. We can still keep going. And we're gonna roll another encounter here. 1 treasure. Oh boy. Oh, please give me some more materials. 5. Oh, we got another chainmail. Oh, wow. So we can either give this to Gunhild. We can give this Gunhild and up his defense. Or, so we can give him 2 defense here. Or we can take this back to the blacksmith and I can guarantee that he's gonna be able to give us something good. You know what, Gunhild, you're not getting anything. We're giving it to the blacksmith. So we're gonna travel all the way through. We're gonna have to do a save to avoid the crowds again. And I don't wanna deal with this, but god damn it, we needed a 10 or under, we got an 11. So another guy comes up to us, accosts us, says, "What are you doing in our town?" I'm just going to shove him to the ground and run. So I'm gonna use my strength for that. I got a 4. Okay, so we just shove him to the ground and we just run off and we just try to like, avoid the crowd as much as possible. Eventually we get back to the blacksmith. Okay, so now we have some materials. The question is, what can this blacksmith make for us? You know what? I'm gonna say I just donated to this guy and like we'll just see what he's able to make us, right? So I think yeah, let's just see. Is it gonna be an armor, shield, or weapons? So 1 to 2 is armor, 3 to 4 is shields, 5 to 6 is weapons. So it's gonna be a shield. Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. So to sum that up, basically we got some materials back for the blacksmith, and we were able to get a shield that allows us to parry and block, which is fantastic. Um, if we parry, we don't actually need to use our fatigue points, and it uses our strength to determine whether we parry correctly or not. So I think that's great because we have high strength. Fantastic. We're gonna go through the crowd. You know what? This time we're not going to go through the crowd. We're going to go up through this way because I don't want to deal with the crowd at all. And knowing my luck, I'll probably just roll up a crowd again. I rolled a conflict. What conflict do I get? 5. A seer with haste runestone patrols the area. What is a haste runestone? Haste is a seer spell, right? Move at double your normal speed and gain an extra action each turn. Huh. So it's a really fast seer. Okay, so I think this means that we're gonna have to avoid him. We don't know their reaction towards us, but we're just going to try to avoid them. So it's gonna be with a disadvantage, I think. Yeah, we're just gonna roll 2d20s and pick the higher one. We're gonna try to avoid them if we can. I don't want any trouble. We fail, massively fail. What's their reaction towards us? It's gonna be a 6. They're gonna be unsure, which means they're not gonna be directly hostile towards us. What is this seer all about? Why are they in this village? We're gonna roll for a focus, emotion, and rune. So, yeah, focus. Ponder. Ponder 4. Ponder melancholy 11. Ponder melancholy ice. Oh, the Draugr that we're trying to find is ice related. Are they trying to find it as well? Can they give us any more information? Let's ask that. Can they help us in any way? 6. Favor with complication. They can help us. They need something. What do they need from us? Not quite sure. What will they need from us? I'm gonna roll up focus, emotion, and rune again. Roll them all at once. So there's gonna be protect, contemplative, god. I think what they want us to do is they want us to protect contemplative god. I think what they want us to do is that they want us to kind of do a holy ritual onto this Draugr. Do we want to do that? Is it within our kind of... I don't think it's within like our personality to want to do that, but we are deceitful. So we might lie that we might do that. He's going to do it, but he wants something more. He wants something from the seer. He wants something that can help protect them. He wants, in effect, he wants the haste rune from the seer to give it to Gunhild, essentially. So Gunhild can essentially go faster. Can we convince them to do so? To give us their rune, help them with this. Yes, we can. Okay, that's great. So Gunhild now has the haste rune. So that means that I'm gonna give him 4 fatigue points. Actually, I'm gonna roll for it. D6 plus 2. I'm gonna give him 7 fatigue points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And he's gonna be able to use it that amount of times, basically. And he's gonna be able to actually get an extra action and attack one more time each of those times. So that's gonna be super useful for Gunhild. So that's good. That was a good kind of encounter there. We did get something out of that, which is fantastic. And we're getting closer and closer to our goal here. So what is going to be in the next section here? Tree. What is tree? We haven't gotten that yet. Mystery, okay. As we're going through this area, we find the longhouse before you flickers and vanishes. It flickers then vanishes. So like it's the remains of a longhouse. So it's like a ghostly longhouse. That's kind of ominous. Are we gonna investigate further? I don't think we are. I don't think we want to have anything to do with it. So I think we're just gonna go step around it and keep going forwards, trying to ignore what we just saw. We can go up to 9 here. But there's more strange goings on in this small village. We got 10, which means that we get a conflict. Better not be cultists. It's cultists. How many cultists? It's 4 cultists, like just now. God damn it. What's with all these cultists? I'm actually gonna say there's the undead of the cultists that we killed here that are coming and trying to look for us. I'm actually going to say that we have a chance to avoid them. I think Gunhill definitely has a chance. He has haste, right? I'm gonna knock off like a fatigue point there. He's just gonna use haste and he's gonna get out of there. Noka needs to actually pass a check here. Otherwise, he's gonna get damaged while trying to escape from these guys. So he's gonna do a dexterity check. He's gonna fail, of course. What is the rules for that? Like, if I want to run away, withdraw. Failing the save means you escape but still take damage from the attack. Yep, he's just gonna get damaged. That's fine. I don't want to kill them twice. Okay, we block off all the damage because we have 3 defense. we are able to get out. We are able to get out of there. Okay, so these are like the ghostly remains of the cultists, and that's why there was like a ghostly longhouse. We killed the cultists, and now their remains are coming after us. So we're going to go up to here. We are almost at our goal. We are almost at our goal. We only have a few more left, and then we will be able to get there. 2. A mystery. 3. A spindly man floats down from the sky and greets us. So there's no getting around this one. I mean, we'll just see. Is it the Draugr? Or is it somebody coming to warn us? 6. Favor with complication. Is somebody coming to warn us? So this figure floats down from the sky, and it's actually the Elder that is bringing us through the trial. And he's actually telling us that very close by we can find the Draugr, but something that the Elder did not tell us is that this Draugr is more powerful than regular Draugr in some way. So how is that the case? Like, oh man, I'm just gonna say that it's a stronger Draugr than normal, and that we should be very, very careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna write down the stats from the Draugr, and I'm going to increase some of them. So this is the final boss essentially that we're facing down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna double his stats, which might be foolish, but I think it's I'm gonna stick to this. Except for his strength. I'm gonna leave his strength at 11 because it's ridiculous if he has like 22 strength. 8 dexterity, 9 wits, 6 spirit. Yeah, but his resistance and his defense doubles. So he is also going to do d8 damage instead of the regular d6 damage. So this is like a frost Draugr, and I'm going to say that he has some kind of frost magic. You know what? I'm actually going to say that he has the opposite of a flame spell. So I'm gonna roll a d6. Reverse flame. You erupt in an explosion of fire and emerge from any flame within 60 feet. Roll a d20. On a 20, or adrift in a realm of fire for d4 rounds. So what I'm gonna say is that he can do that, but with ice. So it's gonna be traverse ice, and I'm gonna note the page number here. So he's able to come out in and out of like ice particles. And here's the thing: we have fire. Is that gonna be helpful for us, or is that gonna be bad for us given that it's ice? I'm just gonna roll 4 and 3 complication. So what I'm gonna say is we can deal double damage, not double damage. We can deal advantage damage towards this Frost Draugr, but he can deal advantage damage towards Noka. So it's gonna be a quick fight. So what we're gonna do before we get into this fight is we're gonna take a swig of our mead here. We're gonna recover a fatigue point, and we're gonna put our resilience back up to 12. And I would like to note that actually once you reach a dungeon size of 11, that doesn't necessarily mean that you finish off that dungeon. There's actually other stuff in here that says that if you reach there, you might need to explore a bit more. But I'm actually gonna end it off at 11 because I think this elder coming down and foretelling of this Draugr is kind of like nice and dramatic. Does the Frost Draugr have any companions with him? Does the Frost Draugr have any companions with him? That's my question. Because I love to make it harder for myself, right? That's gonna be a 7 complication. So not sorrow, not favor, just complication. I'm gonna say that that means that he has let's say he has 1 or 2. So his 1 to 2 is 1, 3 to 4 is 2. He has 1 to 2 cultists with him. He has 1 cultist with him. So the cultist is going to have 6 resistance, 1 defense, 10 strength, d6 damage. And you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say that the cultist also has a spell. So we're just gonna reverse the fire spells here. We're gonna roll d6. 4. They have sear, but they have it for ice, which is bad. They can inflict d8 damage essentially. So cultist leader. So the question is, we come in on these guys, what are they doing? Let's actually ask the Oracle for that. What are the head cultists and the Draugr doing when we find them, essentially? So we're gonna roll for focus, emotion, and rune. We're gonna get an 8. Prepare, forlorn, magic. They're preparing some kind of ritual. Oh no. So that means we're on a timer here. So d6 plus 2. That's how many rounds we have. We have 8 rounds, plenty of time before something disastrous happens. I'm gonna say that if we don't finish them off within 8 rounds, they encase everything in ice and we just die. time to fight. So there's a couple of things I need to do here. Firstly, I did say that we're gonna have advantage over them in terms of damage. Do we have the advantage in terms of reaction? So I'm just gonna roll a dex check for that. We do. So we get the first attack in. Before we even start the combat though, before we even get in there, I'm fucking immediately, I'm gonna cast Ignite. I'm gonna deal double damage. So, you're gonna come in, and the question is, can I get both of them with one blast of fire? I'm gonna ask the Oracle for that as well. Can I burst like fire at both of them? It's gonna be 8 sorrow. No, I cannot. I can only choose one to blast fire at. I'm blasting the Frost Dragger. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So what we're gonna do is I'm still gonna use Seer, so I'm gonna use 2d8, and then I'm gonna see which is higher. Because I can deal advantage damage, but it's also double damage. So that is going to be a 9. And that is going to be, holy shit, that's gonna be 15 damage. Okay, we deal 15 damage directly to the Draugr. Screams out in pain as we start melting his body essentially. Uh, Gunhild is gonna come in and attack the cultist leader. So Gunhild is going to use up his haste rune here, and he's gonna try to attack the cultist leader. So he's gonna be able to attack twice because he gets an extra action. Yup, he can. Okay. So he's gonna actually attack twice on this cultist leader. Gonna attack for 5 damage, bring that down to... Oh wait, he has 2 defense. I forgot that. So it's actually a 3 resistance. I almost forgot. 3. Okay, so that's going to be 1 off each. So it's gonna be 2 and 1. So it's actually going to go down to 3 resistance. So it's gonna get 2 and 1 damage. Okay, so they're angered now, and they're gonna actually start to use their attacks against us. I think I'm gonna roll for what their action is gonna be, and if it's anything but a normal action, they're just gonna use their magic. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So let's see here. They get a 7 for the Frost Draugr. He's just gonna attack us normally. So the Frost Draugr is gonna scream out, and he's gonna get an advantage damage against Noka as promised. So that's bad. That's a 7. 7 minus 3 4. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Alright, we can still do this. We got 8 resilience left. We're still good to go. Cultist leader is going to attack. I don't know, who is he gonna attack? 1 to 3 is Noka, 4 to 6 is Gunhild. I don't think I'm gonna protect Gunhild this time. He's gonna just attack Gunhild. So he's gonna attack Gunhild for d6 damage, which is gonna be a 5. So Gunhild is gonna take 5 damage. He does not have any armor on, so he's gonna go down to 2 resilience. Our turn. I'm gonna take my hammer. I'm gonna take my fucking hammer. I'm gonna smash it onto the Frost Draugr, and I'm gonna try to get it so that he's knocked down. So I believe that if you do that, it's 2d6 advantaged. So there's that. But I also ignited myself. So essentially, I'm gonna take 2d6. I'm just gonna roll it, and then I'm gonna see the next time which one is higher. So first one is 2. The next one is 5. So I'm able to deal 5 damage to him. And now he has to do a strength save to see whether he's knocked down or not. It's 6. He's not knocked down. What a shame. So he's actually got 10 strength left. So he's still upright, but does he actually like get knocked unconscious? He does! The Frost Draugr is not knocked down, but he's knocked out. He's kind of like knocked dizzy by this. And the cultist leader is gonna see this, and I think he's gonna rush to the Frost Draugr's aid and try to heal him somehow. Can he do that? Not sure. But before that, he's gonna get whacked on by Gunhild, who's gonna try to attack the cultist leader. So cultist leader gets whacked for 3 and 1. So that's going to be just 2 damage. So the cultist leader is still upright. So normally if it goes down to that level and he fails his strength save, normally if that happens, that character is taken out, but this is like an end boss. So the question is, can the cultist leader heal this boss with what remains of his strength? I'm gonna roll on that. I don't know. Does Seer essentially work as kind of like healing thing on this Draugr? 2 and 2 is favor with complication. He can do it, but he has to use up his entire turn, and he might not be able to do it exactly how he wants to. So cultist leader, How much spirit does he have? I'm gonna check to see whether this cultist leader can do it. They have 12 spirit. So he has to roll a 12 or under in order to try to heal the Frost Draugr. He does not. Fails it, and at this point, we get our attacks in, and we're just gonna do normal attacks here. And I think we're just gonna kill him outright. So I still have Ignite, so I still have my advantage. So I'm just gonna use my Blacksmith Hammer and 3. So that's gonna be 2 damage because of the defense. And they're gonna have to do a strength save. So if they get a 9 or under, they get 9, so they are able to keep standing. But Gunhild is gonna use his final haste, and he's gonna attack twice because he's able to get 1 more action. And he's able to do another 2 damage. This cultist leader is more tanky than the Frost Draugr. But let's see, is he able to still stand after that? 7! He needed a 7 or under in order to survive that, and he survived it. The cultist leader, I think he's at his wit's end. He's gonna use Seer on us. The question is, can the Seer attack both of us at once? Like, it's kind of like a arcing kind of like shot, right? Can it hurt both Noka and Gunhild? Favor with complication. No, it can't. So it can only attack one of us. So who is it gonna be? It's gonna be Noka. I was gonna say 1 to 3 is Noka, 4 to 6 Gunhild. How much damage does he deal Noka? 6. Goes down to 5 out of 12 resilience. And we're just gonna beat this guy up some more. That's going to be 2. So he's gonna get 5 strength left. He needs a 5 or under to survive this. It's kind of getting ridiculous. He gets an 8, he dies. If he gets a 1 on a d20, he does 1 final attack before he goes out. He gets an 11. He does not. We have defeated the Frost Draugr and his awful cultist leader. We are done. We are able to get back to the Elder eventually, and we're able to get our reward, which is going to be that Noka is now free of his duty to bring this little shit through this trial, and he gets a soul. So he's going to get 1 soul, and he can use that to level up. So we're also gonna refresh our resilience and everything here, of course. We're gonna get our resilience back. We're gonna get our fatigue back. We're gonna get all our meat back as well, and we're gonna be able to level up. So let's actually, before this session is over, let's level up. Let's see, souls. While resting, spend 1 soul to permanently increase one of the following attributes: strength, dexterity, wits, spirit, or vitality. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use our souls to boost up our spirit by 1. So we are now slightly more effective as a pyromancer. And that's the session for today. That was really fun. That was really, really fun. I made a couple of mistakes while playing, but you know what? You know what? What matters is that you have fun. So screw the rules. No, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, yeah, if you wanna support Colin Lissier, aka by Odin's Beard RPG, go out, get his book. It's fantastic. He's also making a bestiary for it. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm not just saying that because my art is in it. And I can't wait to get that in physical form so that I can have more monsters to fight. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you enjoyed the content, hit like and subscribe. You know, all that YouTube stuff. And comment. Tell me what you thought about this Runecairn adventure. Would you like me to continue it? I don't know if I would, but like I would like to see if there's interest for that. I don't know if this was enjoyable to watch, but I really had a fun time playing it. Every single time I play Runecairn, it is great. It's just great. In terms of my recommendations for new players to solo RPGs, it's up there. It's like in my top 5 probably. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Go pick it up, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.